The long ship keel scrapes against black stone as the warrior steps ashore, his boots sinking into wet gravel. Mist curls from the fjord like the breath of a slumbering beast, swallowing distant peaks and muffling the cries of gulls. His hand rests on the hilt of his seax, unsheathed yet ready. The village should be stirring, smoke curling from hearths, the clang of the smithy, children chasing goats through the mud. Instead, silence. Not peace. Absence. Even the ravens have fled the eaves. A single raven feather, slick with dew, lies across the threshold of his longhouse, its door ajar, though he left it barred. The wind shifts, carrying beneath the salt the iron tang of old blood. He knows this omen. The sagas warned of it, when kin spill kin. Blood beneath a blood moon. The land itself holds its breath. And now it waits for him. He strides through the croft, past empty byres and cold hearths, his shadow stretching long in the pallid dawn. A woman ducks into her hut, pulling her shawl tight as if his gaze might curse her. Two boys freeze mid-step near the well, eyes wide, then scatter like startled crows. No one speaks his name, no one meets his stare. Even old Hroar, who once swore oaths over his father's funeral pyre, turns his back at the smithy, Sruin hammer idle in his grip. The silence isn't empty. It's coiled, watchful. He feels it in his teeth, the weight of secrets festering behind shuttered windows, of whispers that began the moment his ship vanished over the horizon. This isn't fear of what he might do. It shame for what they've already done. On the roof of his longhouse, a raven perches like a black nail driven into the thatch, its beak open in a harsh, guttural caw that slices the silence. The sound doesn't echo. It claws. Villagers huddle in doorways, their murmurs threading through the mist like poisoned needles. Odin watches. The Allfather sends his eye. A fisherman spits into the dirt, muttering that the bird came with the tide, just as the blood moon crested. Others cross themselves with old signs, fingers tracing runes long forbidden. They don't fear the warrior's wrath. They fear the judgment his return has summoned. The raven caws again, and this time it sounds like a name. His name. Not spoken in welcome, but in accusation. The gods aren't waiting. They've already chosen their side. The raven's cry still hangs in the air when the summons comes, not with words, but with smoke. From the far edge of the village, where the birch trees thin and the earth turns to bog, a thin plume curls upward, black against the grey sky. He knows the path. It leads to the seeress, Gullveig, whose eyes have not seen daylight in 20 winters. Her hut reeks of burnt yarrow and wet ash. The walls strung with crow bones and strips of wolf hide etched in blood runes. She does not rise as he enters, does not turn. You were meant to die at sea, she rasps, voice like flint on wood. Bye! Norns cut your thread 3 nights past, beneath the red moon. But you returned, and with you the storm that walks like a man. She stirs the embers with a charred stick, revealing a rune-carved stone slick with condensation. Thurisas, thorn, warning, betrayal. The gods sent their sign before your sails cleared the headland, she whispers. Your brother lit the pyre before your ship was out of sight. Gullveig. Words coil in his gut like ice, but before he can speak, a new sound cuts through the hut, stifling air. The rapid thud of running feet. A boy stumbles in, breath ragged, eyes wild. The Jarl. It's gone, he gasps. His hall is empty. His sword still in its scabbard. No tracks but his own leading into the marsh. The seeress doesn't flinch. She only taps the runestone once, twice. Thurisas again. Outside, the village stirs, not with alarm, but with a hushed certainty, as if they've expected this too. Whispers coil like smoke. The warrior's return broke the silence, and the land demanded a price. Now the Jarl has paid it, or fled it. Either way, the omen holds, blood calls to blood, and the storm hasn't passed. It's only found its next name. A figure steps from the throng. Bjorn Red-Hand, his mail shirt still flecked with dried gore from last winter's raid. He plants himself before the warrior, axe loose in his grip, voice a blade drawn slow. You breathe when you should rot, he spits. The sea rejected you, so the gods sent their raven to mark you cursed. Your brother vanished the night you returned. The marsh swallows what it's owed, but it's not done. Murmurs ripple through the crowd, tighter now, hungrier. A woman clutches her child close. A hunter snuggles whiten on his spear shaft. Bjorn's eyes gleam with borrowed certainty. You brought the silence. You brought the blood moon, and now the Jarl's gone. Because you walked back from death, store like a thief. The air thickens, charged a storm-racked sky. They don to believe him, not yet, but they want to. And that is worse. Bjorn hurls his axe into the earth between them, a challenge, not a threat. Let the gods judge, he snarls, stepping back. Trial by combat at dusk. Winner leads the village, loser feeds the crows. A murmur surges through the crowd, not of dissent, but of grim relief. At last, a reckoning they can understand. Hands move swiftly now. Stones are stacked in a ring at the edge of the burial mound, where ancestors watch from beneath the turf. Torches are bound with rowan branches, their smoke meant to carry oaths to the high seats of Asgard. Women smear ash on their cheeks. Men sharpen blades with quiet, deliberate strokes. The raven circles once, twice, then vanishes into the bruised sky. The ground is made sacred not by words, but by silence, and the unspoken truth that only one of them will walk away whole. Steel shrieks as the first blow falls. Bjorn's axe biting air where the warrior's neck had been. Snow explodes under boot heels, crimson blooming where a glancing slash opens Bjorn's forearm. The crowd is stone, breath pluming in frozen silence, eyes wide as the dead. No cheers, no chants. Only the wet crunch of packed earth beneath circling feet, and the rasp of mail like grinding teeth. The warrior parries with his seax, the clash ringing sharp as a struck anvil, sparks guttering in the dusk. Bjorn lunges again, wild-eyed, driven by fear more than fury, and catches nothing but wind and the cold stare of men long buried beneath the mound they fight upon. A drop of blood, his own, splatters the rune-etched stone at the circle. Sedge. The raven's shadow flicks across the snow. Neither man speaks. Words died with the first strike. Now, only iron decides truth. Bjorn staggers back, blood slick on the snow, his axe arm trembling. But before the warrior can press the advantage, a horn blast splits the air, raw and urgent. Not the village swore call, but the high, keening shriek of the western watchtower. Heads snap toward the cliffs. A scout stumbles into the ring, voice shredded by panic. Sails, black sails, filling the fjord. The crowd fractures. Mothers snatch children from the stone circle. Hunters whirl toward the shore, spears forgotten in the mud. Even Bjorn's hatred flickers, replaced by the primal chill of invasion. The warrior turns, eyes narrowing against the wind. On the horizon, masts pierce the mist like spears raised by giants. No banner flies. No oars flash in the dying light. Only silence, and the slow, inevitable crawl of unknown ships toward a village already bleeding from within. The black sails swell like wounds in the mist, closer now. Silent, relentless. No war horns, no taunts. Just the groan of timber and the slow slap of oars, cutting water like knives through flesh. The village holds its breath again, but this silence is different. Not coiled with guilt, but braced for slaughter. Bjorn spits blood into the snow, then bends to wrench his axe from the earth. He doesn't look at the warrior, doesn't need to. Their feud is ash now. The real storm has come. Side by side they stand at the cliff, sedge, mail, glinting dully in the dying light. The burial mound at their backs and the sea before them. As the lead ship breaches the fjord's mouth, a figure rises at its prow. Tall, cloaked in wolf pelt, one hand resting on the dragon's head. The wind snatches the hood back, scarred face, missing eye. A ghost the sagas claimed drowned years ago, Eirik the Oathbreaker, their former war brother, returned with fire in his veins and a score written in blood.